Yo, 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 what up? Right back at it. On Tuesdays, how we do it's a Merv and Stack show featuring Marc. We got a special guest in the building. It's the homie Ed. We gonna go ahead and talk to the special guest first. What's going on, Ed? How you living?
Cooling, big dog. Cooling. Enjoying things in the Queen City, brother. The sun is shining. You know, it's a nice start to a week. I got no complaints, man. I got some Knob Creek smoked maple, and I'm here to talk some Snowfall.
You said you have some what now?
Smoke maple. There you go.
Great minds think alike.
There you go. There you
My
go.
man.
There you go. You tried that smoked maple yet?
I have not. I gotta try that because
It's
if a
not
boy
bad.
tried it, I gotta try it.
It's not
Moving
bad.
right along. No. Marc, what's going on in Philly, bro? I know you got something for me.
Yo, man, weather nice, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, it was like a movie out here. I just like, man, lunch breaks was extended. Thank you, ladies, for setting the scenery for your boy. I appreciate y'all for doing that for me. You know what I'm saying? It's real nice out here, man. I can't complain, man.
For sure. Merv, what's happening? How you doing on this fine Tuesday, my brother?
It's been a long motherfucking day, man. I was stuck goddamn picking out leaves in the grass, sweating and shit, getting bite by spiders and big ass ants the size of my fucking pinky nail. I've been trying to avoid all fucking day. Whew. Other than that, man, I'm doing motherfucking good, man. I ain't drinking no goddamn liquor at night. I'm saving that shit for tomorrow night when we talk about that motherfucking Derek and Steve Harvey and all them fake motherfuckers. But tonight, I'm just chilling. I'm drinking some fucking I'm drinking some peanut grig.
Peanut what?
Don't do it, bro.
Peanut grig.
I don't
Well, that's
even know.
the Italian word is Pino Grigio.
Yo, I'm sure that's not correct. I'm sure for one, I'm sure that's not correct. But we gonna roll with it anyway, man. We gonna roll with it anyway. Yo, let's get right into episode 5.
Yeah.
I think the title of this episode is the Get Back. Real good episode, man. We gonna just jump right into it, man. Merv, I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to you, bro.
Yeah, man, let's go ahead and jump in this shit, man. Listen, it's some powerful scenes in this motherfucking episode right here.
Right about
Some real
that.
powerful. And a lot of people like Snowfall. One of the main things I hear people saying like Snowfall is because of the realistic shit and the realism of the show of how it's actually shit that can actually happen, that has happened, and shit that people actually has experienced. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, I got a drink. Oh, I put some ginger ale I put some Canada Dry with my Pinot Grigio.
Of course you do.
It tastes pretty good.
No Seagrams. No Seagrams. Not for this guy.
It tastes like nigga apple cider.
You know what? Hey, Ed, this is every week, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize in advance, homie.
Hey, and we know that Merv got his own set of issues, man. You know, they just manifest themselves. They manifest themselves in different ways and the same way at the same time. So
right, and people be thinking Sean be bullshit, but thank you. That's a really good point, Ed. Continue, Merv.
Yeah. What the fuck ever? Hey, this is your first against the parents. Don't make it your last, nigga.
The threats.
Yo.
Hey, but for real, this show right here is really based on two things: Leon and Scully Khadijah situation. So this first, I got a meme, right? We're gonna start off talking about the Scully and Khadijah shit.
Okay.
This motherfucker. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck going on. All right. Yo, somebody put this in a Snowfall group that these two deserve an Oscar for the performance. And if you if you look at the damn motherfucker, yeah. So if you look at the pictures where they was in the hospital room, their baby girl just got shot. Khadijah was there first.
Killed.
Um, that's listen. I've been through that experience. Like whatever, what TV shows is the Emmys. That's what they give the Emmys.
Yeah,
If
Emmy.
they had like a Emmy scene of the year or some kind of shit, the hospital scene between Khadijah and Scully, that shit was so motherfucking believable. You really couldn't tell that they was acting. They really didn't. Yeah, they really did not have their baby girl that they share just murdered. And when
What
I
I
tell you,
what I like
go ahead.
what I like about that scene, Merv, is that it gives us we all know stuff like that go down in the hood where a kid gets, hit,
Yeah.
where innocents get killed and stuff like that. What I like about that scene, it get all we do is hear about it. It gave us that scene gave us what goes on with the parents in the background where they go in the morgue to identify the body, how they don't want to leave, and things of that nature. We typically hear about those things, but they gave us like a behind the scenes on what it's like as a parent to go through that type of situation. And I thought that was something different. A lot of shows wouldn't go that deep, but I'm thankful that they did, because they give you that perspective that us out on the outside looking wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, that going to the morgue part, I think that was, that really brought some realism to it that parents, some parents unfortunately have to deal with. They have shown a kid being killed on TV, but going to the morgue and having identified a body and just kind of following that whole sequence or whatever, that was so crazy. You know, that was so crazy. So I'm like, man, it was powerful, man. You kind of felt that. So that's what I would say.
Hey, who the fuck got that shit on? Somebody got something on. I'm hearing something in the background.
That's me, my bad.
Oh,
I'm trying to share the broadcast, my bad.
oh yeah. Get to the Snowfall groups.
Yeah.
So you know what's crazy about that though?
So,
No, go ahead, Ed.
What's crazy about that is if you look at the progression of this show and what makes it so great, you see the pain in the life that these cats are living, and it's not celebrated. You understand what I'm saying? You see the pain. You see how very few shows. Like you said, some people will talk about shooting a kid, but you're seeing the aftermath and the effects. What crack did to the community, what it's doing to these people's families. And
Hmm.
then you get to the characters and the shit that they're going through, and that's what's really
Right.
what's really interesting, because when we first introduced to Scully's this crazy motherfucker that what I'm saying, that's wired, that's dropping some weird shit in his ear, playing some crazy music and torturing the motherfucker in the back. And now you see this scene right here where, if y'all recall, she checks him and she's just like, look, you're gonna let these people do their job, and I'm getting the fuck up out of here, because you can hear that frustration, and he don't know what to do, so he's just angry. And that's one of the things I appreciate about this. It's interesting to see that, because you don't see too many people check Scully. You see how his girl, and you also, I'm quite sure y'all get to a little bit later on, how she checks both Scully and her brother, later on in the scene, and show that she got some balls in there, and she got
That
something to say.
you know what? Ed, to your point, that's a damn good point, because I think this is the first time we saw Scully's true humanity, so to speak. Because every time
Right.
we've seen Scully before this, he's been dipping that shirt. He's a Sherman. He's dipping that dipping that PCP in his ear and shit like that. And you got to see him vulnerable, like at his most vulnerable point. It goes from
Mhm.
him being this killer, being at war with Manboy, to him being a father that just lost his daughter. I think that rolls a lot into how him and Scully and him and Manboy ended up squashing the beef. And a lot of people from what I seen in the groups, Merv, was saying that how they just gonna drop the beef like that. But Man Boy said it best. It's funny how tragedies make family come together.
Yeah.
Man, let
And
me
that's
tell you
true,
something.
though. That really happened.
So let me tell you something. Y'all know when we be doing the shows, I bring in, if I got real life experience, I have no problem bringing that shit in. So I had a nephew that was somewhat, well, I have a nephew that was in the streets that got set up and got set up to get robbed, got murdered by 5 people. And I was at the hospital with my sister when he passed. So I actually experienced this. And then when I tell you that scene was so fucking real and so fucking similar to what I experienced being around my sister and my family, like they killed that damn scene. And another thing, we had some family issues before that happened that was some family members wasn't fucking talking. And that shot us together. So like that whole
True.
scene and that whole concept is 1,000, 1,000 realistic, 1,000 bullseye on motherfucking point. So the writer of that shit and then the two Khadijah and Scully pulling that shit off, yo, brilliant performance.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
now, like I was saying last week, didn't I tell y'all Leon should have killed motherfucking Khadijah? And when I told y'all why, what was the reason I told y'all? What one reason I said why he should have killed the motherfucking mama? Do y'all remember that reason? Does anybody
No
remember
witnesses.
that reason?
Is that what you said? Did you say no
No
witnesses?
motherfucking witnesses. And I became real specific. What was the specific witness I was talking about? Who I said she'd be able to tell? Oh, now
Man
y'all
Boy.
got amnesia and shit. Yeah, I got Alzheimer's. I told y'all I need to
Man
kill
Boy.
motherfucker Khadijah because she'll be alive to tell Man Boy what the fuck happened, and that's Man Boy niece, and Man Boy and Scully could fuck around and let bygones be bygones over that shit.
Yeah,
And
you did
now
say
they
that
got to
shit.
deal with Man Boy and Scully.
I mean, man, and you know what? I mean, I felt your point on it, but I'm just saying Leon is an emotional guy. He's not a stone killer. A stone killer wipe out 10 people and they don't even ain't on his conscience. When Leon killed the little girl, he was in a state of shock. He couldn't even
Right.
believe what he did. You know what I'm saying? I just like, man, just he's just not wired that way. You know what I'm saying? I like, man, now Marlo Stanfield from The Wire was in that scene. Man, everybody been dead. You know what I mean? Wouldn't have been a problem. But you know what I'm saying? I just like, yo, but I was like, Leon just ain't wired that way, yo.
But you know, but that's the
Marlo
issue
killed the
though.
motherfucker. Go
But
ahead,
that's
Ed.
the issue
Okay,
though.
then.
That's the issue though. Y'all remember that song? There ain't no such thing as halfway crooks, bro. You can't be halfway in this shit. You can't be no halfway gangster. You can't be no halfway killer. Either you all about it or you not about it. Because he decided to halfway step in there and he pulled back. And the results of that are going to be tragic for him. Because when you do something like that, right, wrong, or indifferent, yeah, I can get it. I sympathize or empathize, whichever the correct term is, for the humane portion of them. But at the end of the day, ain't no such thing as halfway crooks, bro. If you're going to do it, do it. If you're going to do it, finish it. If you ain't going to finish it, then you're going to pay the cost.
Yeah.
I honestly, Merv, but the rest of y'all as well. I honestly think that even if he had taken out Khadijah, I think that you could put two and two together. I mean, they started by shooting at Leon in the last episode. That's how it started. And they had to know that the get back was coming. They had to know that. I mean, it's two people that they could possibly be. It could be either Scully's folks because they were still at war with them, or Leon on the get back. So I think it wouldn't have mattered. I think that they already would have blamed Leon anyway, and Leon would be even in more deeper if he killed Khadijah as well. I mean, if he can get any deeper.
Yeah, I'm about to say they don't get no deeper. But it's a major difference between suspicion and you can still do plausible deniability.
Deny that shit.
As opposed
Yeah.
to
Right.
motherfucker death say he did it.
Whatever they say he did that shit. Like Kanan say, guilty as fuck.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Peaches. If Peaches was on the scene, I mean everybody been going. I think I mean Peaches is wired that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, because Peaches had a bullet in him and was ready to leave.
He just wanted to go back and get the motherfucker right then and there.
But that's the right decision though. You go right now, you finish this shit. You don't retreat. You go and you finish it. If you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah, true.
So this leads to man boy Khadijah talking because he's coming to find out what happened, but really who killed his niece. And they had a strong family moment where they was able to get over this shit somewhat, but like he said, tragedies bring families together. So he bypassed. He started worrying about Scully. He started worrying about Khadijah, what Khadijah was going to think or react. He didn't want to sprint for find out who killed his niece. And they had a moment when she asked, do you even know my niece's middle name?
Yeah.
So, which he did, the same name as Mama's, Shantae. And I think that's what, after he said that what broke through Khadijah's wall. And she finally told him. If he didn't know the middle name, I don't think Khadijah was gonna tell him shit.
Yeah, I
she
get
was like,
that.
"This is my motherfucking house." So this tragedy brought some big time healing. Shut up the damn house. Try to kill her. Your niece's father. Your niece's father tried to kill you, and you put all that shit together over this right here. Now let's go to. I want to find out what y'all move would have been. He find out who it is. Goes to fucking Franklin, and goes
That was
to
some real
Franklin,
G shit.
Said, Yo, 5-year-old girl, my niece just got killed. You want to guess who the motherfucking shooter is? Now, fucking Jerome say Daffy motherfucking Duck.
Daffy mother. He said just like this. Daffy motherfucking Duck. That shit came out of nowhere. Daffy motherfucking Duck.
Hey, I don't know if y'all pointed out, but Jerome and Merv the same character, man. If Merv grew up on the West Coast, he would be jamming Jerome, man. I'm telling y'all right now. Hey, no joke. Yo, straight up, I said it before. I said that's Merv motherfucking D's in the 80s with a Jerry curl on the West Coast. In case y'all ain't know.
Hey, Jerome be having some comic relief with some of his quotes. So man,
I like his character, man. He's a really good character, man.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like they really plucked his ass out of the 80s, man. Like perfection.
Yeah.
He's the only motherfucker with Jericho on the show, ain't it?
I think so, man.
He is.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of an older head.
He looked like an 80s West. Oh, that is right. So that's probably why he got the Jericho and nobody else don't.
Well, Jerome is kind. Jerome. Franklin them in their early 20s. So Jerome is probably around our age or a little bit older than us.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, Jerome just kind of trying to get back to jamming Jerome's. You know what I'm saying?
He is. That's all he's trying to do.
Back to that shit.
And he know he an old head. He ain't trying to really expand and do none of that shit. I'm trying to get back to my shop.
Exactly. You know?
Hey,
how long this will take before I get back to my shop?
So man boy basically got damn propagandas on Franklin and was like, yo, it was your boy Leon. So remember when my boy fucked up? I turned that nigga over. I'm expecting the same.
I brought the transgressions to your doorstep.
Doorsteps.
Hey, check this out.
Y'all Franklin. And Louis, Louis, listen. Before I ask y'all what y'all would do, Louis, I don't give a fuck nobody said Louis is the most gangster motherfucker on here. Okay? Yup. Franklin is really about the business, but Louis is even more about the business. Cause she was like, yo,
I
know it's boy, but we can't go against Man Boy and Scully. You gotta give that nigga up. But
hey,
y'all,
Merv,
Franklin, what y'all thinking right now?
Merv, first thing I want to say is you made a good point. Louis and Franklin have always been the two most business aligned throughout this entire series. She's all about the business now. And I don't think her theory, as far as wanting to give up Leon, it's not malice intent. It's all in the sake so they can do business, because we gotta understand, if they give up Leon, like Man Boy say, everything pretty much goes back to normal. Scully lays down, Man Boy go back to running Compton, and everything's lovely again. But if I'm Franklin, shit, I can't give up my best friend, bro. I mean, I wouldn't be able to give you up, bro. I mean, that would be a case of me. I mean, then again, you are fucking annoying sometimes. So, nah, man, I just had to go to war, man. I can't give up the homie, man. I can't do it. It's a different situation because them boys, Man Boy gotta understand, those was like some low-level workers and shit like that. He can't compare his low-level workers that he gave up to Franklin and Leon's situation. So no, I wouldn't give him up.
That's rough.
Mark, what about you? You quick to throw bitches back in the street.
We saving that for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say like this, man. I'm like, man, I have a loyalty, so I'm just like, I couldn't see myself doing that. I'm just like, listen, just the way that I'm wired, I'm like, man, even though me and this motherfucker been through some shit and he gets on my nerves and he didn't, mess some shit up, I can't just hand him over like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it, And Franklin, you know what I'm saying? I know is probably thinking like, I'm smart, man. I could figure my way out of this shit. And that's exactly how I be doing. I'm like, I could figure my way out of this whole situation without giving Leon up. Now, if Leon got caught out there on his own, all right, it's all in the game, but I can't just hand them over. That part I couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say like this, right? Every time you watch one of these shows, right, it's this moment always comes up where, you know what I'm saying, yo, man, give them up. And usually they never give up their guy. No matter what happened, they don't give them up. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it happening. I couldn't do it.
So I gotta take this back a little bit. So obviously, Auntie is the truth. Her and Franklin always been, you mentioned it before, they always been the brains, but Franklin's compromised right now. Franklin took 3 shots. Franklin, you know what I'm saying, he's in a weakened state. That's his dog, and Auntie's just like, business is business. She is making the right decision. And let me say this, I know it's a tough one, but we're going to take it back to one of the original gangster movies. In Godfather Part 2, Michael Corleone put down his own brother for transgressions against the family.
Right.
He put down his own brother for transgressions against the family.
Right.
When you cross the line, now I'm not saying that's the line, but wherever that line is, when you cross the line, the rules of the game say this is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Auntie knew that. The rules of the game say this is what you do.
I mean, you know what? That's true, though. I'm like, it's true. And the thing is, though, like, if you don't give them up, it could backfire. We've seen that happen. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, damn, you know what I mean? They ain't give them up, and then boom, it backfired. So I'm like, that happened in The Wire when Prop Joe got killed. You know what I'm saying? He ain't give up his nephew, which was Method Man. Method Man, you know what I mean? For real, did some slimy shit. You know what I'm saying? And then backdoored him, and then Joe got killed. So I was just like, man, but and I like the option that you kind of pointed out, Ed. With the Godfather, that happened later in The Sopranos when Tony Soprano had to kill his cousin. He just like, yo, I ain't gonna give him up. That's my cousin. But then it was just like, yo, he went and shot him anyway, and then called the bull like, oh yeah, well he up here. You know what I mean? And they was mad because they couldn't kill him and torture him because Tony already killed his cousin. So I
And
get it.
Alton did the same thing.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
As we noticed, Alton did the exact same thing. He just before the rest of the Panthers could get the dude and torture him and shit like that, he just off
which was
he
his
put
cousin.
that's a mercy, and that was his cousin. That's you call a mercy killing.
Yeah.
That's what.
I thought that was going to happen though. I thought we were actually going to see that last episode. I thought it was going to happen at the end.
Hey, listen, I thought the same thing. So when that dream that fucking Leon ended up having,
Boy, that shit was funny.
And be honest, how many of y'all that shit got? How many of y'all knew? Did y'all think that was a dream? Y'all thought that shit actually happened?
No, I thought it was a dream.
Nah, dream.
Because Franklin don't laugh like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not how that would have went down. Now, that's his subconscious telling him how this shit's about to go down, or what should happen, because that's what the rules of the game say. You do some shit like that, that's why he froze. That's why he's stuck. When they saw him, Jamie Jerome was like, you know what I'm saying? That man shot a kid. You can't come back. It's hard to come back from that. Yeah. So I mean, he knows he's in a fucked up spot right now. And I think that dream was just his subconscious, like, this is where I'm at. And he's real. And honestly, that's where it should be at. And you can sort of get the sense, man, and y'all stop me if I'm going too far, but I feel like you get the sense that throughout this entire show, it was just like a sadness to him. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, when the moms came over there and, when she braided his hair, it's like, it. That man down there, he crying, it. And they're saying their silent goodbyes, man. You know what I'm saying? They're saying their silent goodbyes because something is fucked up. Because that's what's supposed to happen. I ain't saying that's what's gonna happen, but that's what's supposed to happen. She said she ain't do it for Franklin. She did it. That's him. Her heart hurt for him, and she went there. And she took care of him. All she could do was braid that man's hair. You know what I'm saying? And let him mourn because it was that silent goodbye.
Yeah, very powerful scene.
Very powerful. Very powerful.
You saw Leon at his most vulnerable, and like Mark said earlier, Leon went from stone cold killer. Pretty sure he still would have been like that, but once he saw that kid, that's when he realized, like, damn, I really did it this time. Because before that, y'all should be Leon is fucking muscle. He's been a force since day one. He's been a shooter, since this whole shit started. And to see him go from being that hardcore, number one shooter to in Sissy's arm, and she pulled his head back, and he's crying. It's like he's a little boy again. Like he got some of his innocence back, regardless of him being at his most savage, mistakenly and shit like that. But that leads into me thinking, anybody believe that? I think that dream is the reason he rolled out. I think that dream is the reason why he left, because Franklin told him not to leave. I think that dream had him actually shook.
Yeah, I would say like this, man. Shoot, I would say like this. Speaking on Leon, right? And I'm not trying to get ahead, but I'm like it like this is like one of these optimistic things that will never happen, but you wish happened. You wish, I'm saying, that Franklin and somebody put him on a plane and like, all right, yo, you the boss of Arkansas, get out of town and go run that shit for us. Like, I mean? I know that ain't gonna happen, but I'm just saying, just the optimist in me, would like to see that happen.
That is a prediction,
Mark, though. Mark, hold up. Since you this was somebody put in one of the Snowfall groups, Mark. It said Leon finna spread the game to Little Rock. Really, is no other way for him to stay alive or to avoid going to prison.
I don't see that happening. I'm just like, man, as much as I would like to see it happen, right? I just don't see that be the outcome for him in this situation. I just don't see it.
I think it would. I agree with Mark because I think it would be too predictable. I don't think the writers are going to do that. I think at this point it would be too predictable because Leon can't stay in California. He can't stay in California. So I don't know if my prediction. I don't know if he hooks him up with Avi, so Avi can hide him out because we didn't see Avi. I don't think he was in this last episode at all. I don't know if he get with Avi, say, hey, let's hide this guy out, down there in Panama or some shit. Because they talked about going to Panama. He talked about Franklin did talk about taking his ass down to Panama. So that would be a perfect hideout. Nobody will ever guess that motherfucker will be down in Panama. That's my bold prediction on the fly. They will send Leon down there to fucking Panama. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Hey, I gotta tell y'all, man, and I just gotta be. I can't hold this one back. That ain't got shit to do with the price of tea in China, bro. That man, like Scully, is old blood. He is old blood. Man, he's old blood. If Leon isn't had, the city burns. The Saints burn. There is no, oh man, that man got out of town. No. It's blood. It's you, your mama, your business. It's blood. And they're gonna burn that motherfucker down. And
Boy said when sharks in the water, they gonna come.
So yeah, and while we talk about it, and this is a good segment for this meme. And man, boy, this nigga just pop up in the bottoms. Like this motherfucker just pop up in the bottoms. When that nigga walked through the door, I'm like, oh shit, and it begins. When that nigga walked through, I'm like, yep, this is when they form, and this right here is what the fuck they got worried about.
Well, Merv, here's what I was thinking. How the fuck did he get through fucking security? Security at the fucking bottom is better than some military checkpoints I done seen in my day. So, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how the fuck he got through the gate, how he got all the way up to that apartment, because they got some stone hard killers in the fucking bottoms.
Man, shoot. I think they had to get. I think if Man Boy coming through there, the crew have to get permission from Scully. You know what I mean, for rid of awful. And he probably came. You know what I mean, hands up. You know what I'm saying? And like that. So I think that's how he was able to get through.
Also, Khadijah might have talked to some of them cats on back. She probably telling me, look, me and my brother, my kid got shot. Man Boy coming through, let him through because we're gonna squash this shit so we can get this motherfucker that killed my daughter.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
And
I agree.
Apologize. He came to apologize, and I say he also came. As soon as he came in the door, Khadijah was like, "Yo," he came to apologize, and Scully was like, "Well, he came to tell me I told you so," and Khadijah was like, "Yo, let the motherfucker apologize." But then we saw another human moment of Scully when it was like, when he said, "Oh, you came to tell me I told you so," I didn't know what he was talking about until later on the same scene. It was like, "Fuck, you know what? You was right. You told me not to have
around this shit."
Around this shit." Because there was a lot of discussion in the Snowfall group about that as well. Why the fuck would you have your daughter in the car with these street niggas when you know you at war with people?
And Merv, that goes back to, I know we talked about this last week, but that to me, that goes back to the whole Leon is not to blame at all for any of this shit that happened. Okay, he shot old girl, he shot the baby, but at this point, you're just trying to survive. Leon didn't ask to get shot at when he was at that food stand because he had told Franklin, we just need to be glad that they ain't coming after us. Let them dudes fight it out or whatever. But I mean, of course, Leon had to survive, so he figured he put down a threat. And I'm blaming Scully for having the daughter in that position. Like, a war going on. Why would you have your baby mama with your goons when y'all being hunted and y'all hunting motherfuckers? So Leon just did what he had to do to survive.
And this somebody pointed out in one of the Snowfall groups that Scully people pulled first. Leon reacted.
Yeah, but I'm
You-
like, in
I
that,
think
in
that's
that line
semantic.
of work, it don't matter. It don't matter
Yeah,
who pulls
it don't. I think once they saw each other, we all knew what it was. Once they saw it, it didn't matter because we all knew what it was. Once those two cars pull up, all of us was thinking the same shit. Like, oh, this shit about to get real ugly, and it got ugly. And the little ice cream dude is just a side note. He's just wrong place, wrong time. But we already knew what it was. But I'm a stand by. And Louis, I don't think Louis is really realizing that aspect of it. And Franklin reminded her, he's like, we the one who fucked with the situation in the first place. And she said, well, he's been lighting these fires for the last couple of months. I don't think you penalize him. The shit ain't Leon's fault. I think Louis is off on that for trying to just get rid, because she literally one of them dudes to go get him. Now, my thing is, was Franklin, now they never said this, but was Franklin and Jerome actually going to do what Louis wanted them to do? Because he was
We'll
leaving.
never fucking know.
Right.
We won't know.
Yeah. But
We
I
won't
was just
know.
like,
But
man, yeah,
let me tell
we don't know.
Man, I don't think Manboy and Scully is the person that Leon really have to worry about Franklin making him think twice about. I don't think those niggas, like Franklin ain't gonna back down from violence, not gonna scare him, threats not gonna scare him. In my opinion, who he really got worried about getting his ear, not even Louis, is that nigga motherfucking Reed. It was who the fuck he's gonna have to worry about. Because so far, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of decisions that Franklin have made on the low, if you go back and look throughout the season, a lot of decisions that Franklin have made has come from a suggestion or an analogy or some kind of hyperbole from motherfucking Reed. That's who the fuck Leon have to worry about.
Reed is unofficial advisor. I mean, who better? I mean, he's a CIA operative, so I mean, who better to get advice from when you're in a drug war? But you're absolutely right. And I never thought about that, Merv. So if he get at Reed, and Reed will tell him the same shit Louis told him. Like, hey, you gotta, in order to make peace, in order to keep this shit going, you need to give your boy up.
So you know what's interesting about that, and I'm glad y'all brought up Reed. That's one of the things that when I was looking at this episode, I was like, number one, you can see the decline and how this life is really worn down Reed. You can see it. You know what I'm saying? The man started snorting coke a few episodes back. They just look like shit. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that this life is dragging on him. That's number one. Number two, have you guys noticed the dynamic of Reed and Franklin's relationship of how it's changed? Like when Reed came up in his office and Franklin got sort of snappy with him. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, is that it? You know, he never would have did that shit, seasons past. You understand what I'm saying? And Reed got up and left. The dynamic has slightly changed. Just a little bit of respect, more so that Reed has for Franklin, knowing that it's a partnership.
Right.
But at the same token, it just goes to show the changes of the dynamic in their relationship. And whatever that is, whether it's natural or whether it's, an adjustment or shift of power maybe, because Reed is on an island and maybe Franklin has sort of begun to realize that. But I just wanted to bring that up, get y'all's opinions on that, see if anybody else noticed that.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a damn good point. Because
Frank,
if you remember, there was a point at which Reed confided in Franklin when Reed was going through that shit with his wife, when his wife backstabbed him and outed him to the agency and some shit like that. And he had a moment where he was confiding in Franklin, and when I saw that shit, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And like you said, Ed, a lot of this shit is really weighing on Reed. The little skirmish that they had with the fucking crooked ass Tijuana police chief and the impending raid that happened after that. And dealing with Gustavo, that's a whole nother fucking job by itself. I mean by itself. But that motherfucker, hey, Gustavo, hey, he one of the motherfuckers, like, you can't give a street motherfucker, because Gustavo, the Mexican street dude. You can't tell a motherfucker like that. You're in the CIA now. What's the first thing this motherfucker did? Police came in there. Hey, get the fuck out! I'm in the CIA, Buto. Like, God damn, Gustavo is fuck. Hoodie Oso is fucking up the church's chicken, man.
Hoodie Oso.
Yeah.
He just got a whole lot of shit that he got to deal with, man. Reed, I wouldn't want to be him, man.
I mean, Reed, he, you know, just like you were saying, it's like Reed's tired. He just, you know, you would think by now this should be a well-oiled machine. We've been in the operation for years, and y'all motherfuckers are fucking up. You know what I'm saying? I know he just looks at Franklin with disgust, like you should have been, you know what I'm saying, moving this product, you know, out of California. Like you should have been did that. It shouldn't be no war. Everybody should be getting this money. You know what I'm saying? How you let the war go on? Even though Franklin ain't started, it's like, how are you not solving these problems? And with Gustavo, it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? How many jams do I have to get you out of? You always doing some shit. You know, he just retired. He just tired with everybody, you know, and I'm just like, man, now, you know, Gustavo with him. He just got to work with him. But Franklin, it's just like, yo, it's going to be, it might come a time where enough is enough. I just pull the plug away from him, give it to somebody else. Like, look, it's 1,000 bulls who want to move coke, you know what I mean, for LA, you know, or California. I give it to somebody else, man. If you getting on my nerves, you're not as smart as I need you to be. The reason I handpicked you, because I thought you were really smart, and you're not acting that way right now.
So at what point does Reed do that? You guys think Reed actually makes that play? Because, you know,
no.
Saint's unique. Saint is unique, man. You can't find. I mean, Manboy is a smart, business savvy cat. But I think you can just go out there and find another Franklin Saint, man. Franklin Saint is very, very intelligent. He's very savvy. I don't think you just go out there and just crown somebody else.
But you know what? I understand that, but it seemed like he's messing up, and this is what Reed ain't feeling. Like, dude, you messing up on multiple levels too. This ain't one. This is a few. Like, I picked you because you a guy. I mean, I didn't think would make mistakes. Now you're making a bunch. Like, this ain't cool.
So check it. I want to add to that, Mark. I want to add to that. Give me 1 second, Merv. I want to add to that because, like you said, Reed tried to give him some game on how to deal with this war. Franklin completely botched his plan. Like, I mean, it was a terrible plan. It was a terrible plan. When you the boss, it's your fault. If you the general and you executing something and the shit don't happen, it is your fault, bro. That's 100% his fault. It was a shitty plan.
From that angle, you're right.
100%. He botched that shit. The shit got worse. Now you got this situation with the kid, and now they're coming together against you. What is Reed supposed to do with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Franklin's transgressions are mounting, and these aren't little transgressions, bro. These are significant things, and you're supposed to be managing this.
It's a damn good point.
But ain't like he expendable, you know what I mean? For like, you know, like, all right, it's only one Franklin Saint. I can't find somebody else, you know what I mean, to do this the right way. You know what I mean, shit, you make enough mistakes, hey, you got to go and I'll put somebody else in, just like a job.
That's
you know what I
mean?
Okay, so
that's why the work. That's what.
So a couple things, right? One, I think he picked Franklin more from, he felt like Franklin was kind of somebody that he feel he could trust and also be kind of low key. But here's the other thing, right? Even with all the shit that Franklin has going on, which none of it is directly his fault, but since he's the boss, yes. But all the shit that he's got going on with Franklin, guess what though? Franklin's still his best motherfucking. Franklin's still the smoothest thing that's going on in his motherfucking life with everybody else. Franklin's still the best thing that's going on. You look at Avi, you look at Gustavo, you look at the now the two Mexican drug lords that's incarcerated. Like out of all shit that he's dealing with.
That motherfucker funny as hell too.
Huh? Yeah, they're funny as fuck.
Hey, that motherfucker's funny as hell.
But Franklin still has been his most productive has been his most consistent, has been his best motherfucking option. Even with all the shit that's going on.
Yeah,
And to me, out of everybody that he's associated with, he still trusts Franklin more than anybody. He still look at Franklin more as a partner than everybody else. He don't really.
I don't know.
Bobby,
Gustavo is his real
Bobby
partner
has
now.
looked up
So
more. Huh?
I said Gustavo is real
What you say?
partner now. You know what I'm saying? That's his man's. You know what I'm saying? That's the
but
partner.
I don't
Shit,
think that
Gustavo fucked up
I
too.
don't think well Reed well my thing is I don't think that Reed will even entertain getting rid of Franklin due to the fact that Franklin always thinks business wise. That's why he's thinking about expanding because he's thinking about his exit strategy that Sissy keep bothering him about. And that's why he's expanding. Franklin ain't greedy or nothing like that. Franklin is trying to expand because he asked Reed what would it take, to move this shit along or whatever. How long do you see
He's trying
it?
to
So
end.
Franklin,
Franklin's trying to
huh?
end it. Franklin's trying to end
Right,
it
right. And
and
the
get it.
worst possible thing that could probably happen is if Man Boy was to get in touch some kind of way, get a hold of Reed or get acquainted with Reed or whatever. That's the only threat that I would see because I honestly think that uh Man Boy is business savvy. I think Man Boy would be if there was a replacement. I think the Man Boy would do well.
Well,
Replacing
hey,
Franklin.
Well, at least
why
in his
since you brought
area, I
that up,
say.
hold on, since you brought that up about Man Boy trying to find Reed, somebody from Snowfall group posted this. Let me hear what y'all think about this. I think Man Boy is the one who sent Franklin old girlfriend at him. He's trying to find his plug.
Mm. Well, let me go first real quick. I'll be quick. A lot of people, a lot of feedback I've seen in some of the Snowfall groups saying they don't trust her. They don't trust her for one because they think somebody put two and two together. They think she's the reporter's daughter, which is a nice theory. Um,
Mm.
I still think it's
That's
kind
one
of
theory.
far fetched. Now if Man Boy if this ends up being true, I gotta give props to Man Boy because this dude has had the ability to maintain the business relationship on the business side and try to do some snake shit on the side, which I wouldn't be shocked because he's Man Boy. He's ambitious like that.
Mm-hmm. True. True.
So I agree that Franklin's ex-girlfriend is definitely bad news. The fact that she's showing up and then she went and got a job up in old
Yeah,
girl's
I ain't like
spot, she
that
came
shit.
asking for a job. That's red
Right.
flags. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
red flags.
Yeah.
So I don't know who sent her, but it's gonna come out who sent her. And I think Man Boy is a prime option because that's sort of that nigga style. You can sort of see that. You know what I'm saying? He uses hoes. He used an old crackhead bitch. You know what I'm saying? To learn how to cook. You know what I'm saying? And learn where they drop spots was at. So I mean, this is a reoccurring theme.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick before Mark, before you go, y'all don't think it's mighty funny? I'm still thinking back. Reason I started not trusting her was back to that scene where Franklin spent a night at her house, and when he woke up, he didn't have his pager on him. Ever since that, because he had his pager on when he would sleep, but when he woke up, he was like, "Where my pager?" She was like, "Here it is." It kept going off. I don't know what the fuck she might have done with that page overnight, but I keep thinking about that shit. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, man. I'm just like just the way she slid up in there. I'm just like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Just nah. Like this part ain't gonna go well for Frank. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, even the smartest guy, right, can lose his mind a little bit. You know what I'm
She
saying?
pussy.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Merv word. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what Merv would say, right? But and that's where I think it's going to be some type of downfall for that. Because here's the thing. Like I think whatever's going to happen with Leon, I think that's a problem that's going to get solved. But then this going to be the next problem that's going to come right up. And Frank going to think he in the clear. We solved the Leon problem. However, that's going to get solved, right? And then boom, this should have come up after that.
Right.
She's definitely a player, but you know who I'm mad at though? Auntie should be the one that peeped that game from them hoes though. She let her up in. She let her in the circle, but Auntie need to be the one that's supposed to see through that shit. You know what I'm saying? Before anybody else, that's sort of like her job, to be honest with you.
But did she let her in the watcher though? But did she let her in the watcher?
I mean, man, maybe Auntie, you know what I mean, for Aunt Luke keeping it close. You know what I'm saying? You know, and figuring it out. So I'm just like, man, you know, that could be it. I'm just saying, you know, like, I just think that they, you know, whatever's gonna happen, they're gonna think they in the clear, and then boom, this is gonna be the shit that pops up. They're gonna deal with the Leon shit. Arkansas about to get rolling. They about to, you know what I mean, make some money out there, and then this shit with the girl gonna pop up.
So Mark, let me pivot real quick. You've been saying for the past 3 weeks that the reporter, she's going to break everything. She's going to find out what happened. Yeah. She's going to find out everything, but it's not going to make it to print. You said she's going to find out everything. She's going to get ready to break the fucking story. Then somebody's going to kill her, or something's going to happen where she gets compromised and don't make it to print. Now, after this episode right here, when you see she done told everybody the fucking what's going on. Now they put money behind her. You still feel strongly about that?
Well, you know what? I would say like this, right? What they would do, it might not even be so much, you know, what happens to her. You know what I'm saying? Because I think she on her P's and Q's, you know, how to watch out for herself. But guess who not? The editor, his boss. They not on. They think, you know, it's just a story. And then once they start knocking off her bosses, then I mean, whoever the head boss in charge of the whole paper around the country, yo, we can't do nothing with this. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, the bull got killed, and then this bull got killed too. Nah, we ain't.
And to your point, Mark, I think that the little young dude who's getting a lot of the information, he may be made an example out of, because they're getting real close, and more people are finding out, you know, that the government is bringing coke into the country to finance this war. So what I see in bold prediction would be, he would be the type that would get knocked off as an example, just to let her know, I know y'all getting close, but just to let you know, this is just an example of what can happen to you and everybody you know and love if this shit goes to print. So I think that one of them that's working on that fucking story is going to be knocked off as an example. And I think that's going to be Reed. I think that's going to be Reed aided, because Reed stands to lose the most from the story coming out. So if Franklin finds out, if Franklin finds out some shit going on, because he might find out from Alton, because Alton, I think Alton did Alton tell him that the reporter's sniffing around?
I don't know if they had that talk yet.
Okay. Well, if this gets to Franklin will go to Reed, and Reed is going to use his influence, and I think that one person in her circle got to go to the little young dude, and that DEA guy who lost his handler, Gustavo, shot in the fucking face. He got to go too, bro.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, you know what's crazy is that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, you know, when you be like, yo, well, who would they kill or who would they get to do it? I'm like, man, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if Reed, you know what I mean, somehow gets to that cop, you know what I mean, for that they threw down in evidence control or whatever. Like, yo, you want back out? You want your cop life back? You know what I mean, doing what you're doing? You got to do this for us. That way it don't stick to none of their people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he, you know what I mean, get back out there. Like, yo, you do this for us, then, you know what I mean, you can get your life back.
Talk about Officer Nix.
Officer Nix. Yeah. Because I'm like, he's not going to turn and talk to her. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see him playing it that way. So I just like, man, he probably go dark side on it.
Either way, I do believe it's going to be a lot of people that go down over this, because, I mean, the newspaper don't know what the fuck they're getting into, to be honest with you. They don't know how deep these roots really go. And but they're going to expose it. Like, I think on y'all last episode, because I checked it out, somebody said she's going to get almost there. Almost.
That was Mark.
Get knocked the fuck off.
Said that. Oh, Mark said that. Yeah.
Almost. Yeah, I think it's going to be like, I think she's going to have the whole story, like, ready to go. And that's when people going to start getting clipped. And I don't think it's going to be her. I think it's gonna be people around her. You know what I mean? Just to be like, yo, back the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna be her.
You know what, Mark? Though I beg to differ, man, because when she said the truth, the truth is better than a bullet any day. I think she's willing to die for that shit. I mean, of course, they don't. Franklin and them don't know that, but I think you got to take her out. I think she literally. I think everybody else around her can get taken out, and she can still take that shit to print because she don't. She will die for the story, bro. That's how I feel.
Once they figure out it's her that needs to go, she ain't got no family. She ain't got no money. She ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? She's a dangerous motherfucker to be having coming after you. She's persistent,
right?
You know? and honestly, you know, but Reed's gonna have to figure out she's the one that needs to be tapped. Now, once he figures that out, then she's gonna get touched, and then the shit's gonna come down until the next person decides to pick it up and say, "Oh my God, you killed my friend." But that's another season.
Right. I feel you.
All right,
so
now we're gonna pivot to Leon. Leon gonna lead us. We're gonna pivot to Leon, and then Leon's gonna lead us to the very final scene. So now this nigga, he sets his car on fire, and he goes to the mom house to get 20 grand emergency money to then get the fuck out. And mama said the money ain't back there. Hey, like I know.
I feel bad for him on that.
Our parents give us life, okay? It's hard to say, mama, that's my money, or dad, that's my money, because he gave me life. I understand that, but nigga,
nah, bro.
In the 80s,
Mom's was wrong.
This is in the 80s.
Dead wrong.
20,000.
Yeah, that's my
dialysis and grocery.
I'm like, man, that's 20,000 then is probably like 80.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. If you live in the projects, you can live off that for a year. You can live off 20K for a year. You can live well in the projects back during that time off of 20K.
Hell yeah.
If you make a 20K back in the 80s, you low level balling shit.
And check this out. You know what she did? She gave this nigga her robe, bro. Like, if that ain't damn near slapping the motherfucking face, you mean to tell me you can't go in the goddamn closet and get me a decent winter fucking coat? You give me your robe?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, fuck out of here, man. I know that's mom, but come on, man.
Yo, man,
right.
We spent we spent that 20K, like, damn. Shit. Then he had to sneak back to the project. He had to sneak back to the projects. You know what I mean? See what he left there.
Yeah.
Wait, but before he went there, that nigga had to sleep outside. And nigga, before he got there, that nigga had to sleep outside. And the other homeless person was like, "Yeah, the crackhead." Mama said, "God damn, the hell you got on? How you so warm? Shit, it's colder than pigeon pussy out here." That shit tickled me.
Of course it did.
Oh shit! All right, man. So Leon ended up getting put in the house that sister out.
I think Merv got disconnected.
Yeah.
Hopefully he comes back up.
Yeah, but it's crazy. He Leon, you know what I mean, for sneaks back to the crib. He sneaks back to the crib though. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was crazy because it was just like, yo, he has something left. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I got some money here.
I was happy. I was happy
that he got there, but then I'm like, he coming out the crib. I just said, damn, because you see his expression. And they ain't even show Scully yet, but I knew he was there. I'm like, damn, I didn't know they were in the car. I thought they was like right up on him, but at least they was in the car, so he had a chance to run. You know what I'm saying? But that shit,
that motherfucker right there.
I mean, he took the risk. He had to take the risk. Them niggas can't shoot. I will say this: Scully and his boys can't shoot. But I mean, damn, either that or Leon really lucky.
Well, hey, most black people.
Yeah, you know what I mean. This is very true. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I would say like not this black motherfucker right here. Shit.
I was about to say the same.
That right now. Shit.
Hey, Stacks, you lurk. Stacks, you lurk.
Hey, Stacks.
Absolutely.
Stacks and Mark. Hey, Stacks and Mark, true story. And hey, I said, I know you got 20 years of military. Well, boy, I don't know. I might lean and put my money on Ed if y'all have a gun battle or shooting stuff. I seen this nigga drunk, get mad, throw a fucking can in the fucking air, pull out his gun, boop, 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 shot the motherfucker and put it back in his goddamn holster. From
well, he got me. Yeah, he got me there. Shit, I'm gonna tell you that right on top. He got me.
Urban legends. Urban legends. Don't believe everything you hear. These are urban legends. Don't believe it.
And I'm rusty as fuck too. Yeah.
They urban legends, bro. They urban legends. This shit ain't true. Don't believe it.
Hey, all right. So the niggas running from Scully.
Right.
Franklin went to find out at the apartment. He's gone. He pulls up to get your stupid ass in the goddamn car. Franklin is pissed.
Right.
He drives the fuck off, and this leads to the scene where Franklin and Mad Boy is talking, and Mad Boy is like, "So, yo, what's up? What happened to propaganda? I mean, what? I told you how we can handle this." Franklin said, "I don't give up my people." Now I didn't put the meme up, but somebody had a meme where Kevin was in heaven, talking about, nigga, you gave me up.
Yo, hey, I didn't remember. I saw that and I didn't like it because Kevin, that's the cost of doing business, man. He did not mean to kill Kevin. He shot him in the leg because Kevin was about to start a war with crazy ass Mexicans. I ain't got no problem with what Franklin did in that situation. He just happened to clip an artery, and Kevin was low key. I wouldn't say he's a crackhead, but he tried crack. But I don't think you can make that comparison because once again the business mind takes over from Franklin. Like Franklin was thinking the whole time, you about to fuck up the entire fucking business I'm trying to grow here. So I gotta shoot you in the leg just so I can just to make to save the business.
I think he shot him in the leg to give him time to think of how to overcome that shit.
And now that I think about it, Merv, I ain't got no problem with Kevin dying because this motherfucker gave up the rest. I was so pissed when he gave up the recipe, bro. I was not happy at all, bro. You would think that I was in on the secret, that I was down with fucking Franklin and them. I was hot when he gave up the recipe, bro. I was fucking hot the fucking trot, bro. Well, how the fuck do you do that, man? Right. I don't think none of us like that shit, man.
But you know what? When you break the code in the game, though, it has a way to come back to you. That's why I'm saying with Leon. You know, I know that's what you was getting at, Merv. You know what I'm saying? Going back to that final encounter between Man Boy and Franklin. I gotta go ahead and put this out there. Man Boy came to that man. He was like, "Look, I don't see no Leon. What's the deal?" And this is the only time in which I've said, you know what? I fucks with Man Boy. He said, "I respect you, Saint. You always kept the business, but you breaking your own rules.
He did
breaking your own rules. The game got a set of rules. Man Boy understood the rules. He ain't always agree with the rules, but he understood the rules.
He said, even when I didn't like it, I respected it."
Exactly, because he understood the rules. Franklin has broken the rule.
He did.
He did.
Hope you got a plan, Saint. I hope you got a plan, Saint.
He got a plan. You know what? Saint got a plan. You know what the plan is? You know what the plan is? Let me tell you what the plan is. I got the plug, nigga.
Hey yo, Merv. Hey yo, I'm gonna tell you. Real talk. I have been watching this series. I mean, we're what, 4 seasons in, episode 5. And Merv, I gotta tell you, man. That was probably one of my favorite lines of the entire series because he said, and this is how he said it. He was like, because Man Boy was like, I got Compton, Scully got the bottoms, Anglewood. Lil Leon got the projects. What you got? Like, what I got? I got the plug, nigga. Hey yo, hey yo,
No,
man,
you
was
got to
like,
exaggerate
you know
it.
what?
No, you got to exaggerate it. He said, I got the plug, nigga.
Exactly, yeah. Hey yo, that was my it was that quote for me. I mean that was that
Yeah.
Snowfall right there. Like what nigga do that's kind of like Saint saying, motherfucker, I got the plug and saying, motherfucker, do you know who I am? Do you know who the fuck I am right now? Like, shit, I can break the rules because I make the rules. I got the fucking plug, you don't, and that's how it's gonna be. And hey, you ain't gotta like it, but that's just the way it is. Say the boss, bro. He a boss with that shit, man. I'm sorry. I love that shit when he said that shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no doubt. No
Yeah,
doubt.
that did it for me.
But even Manbull was like when he said that shit, saying you got all the cheap cocaine in the world, but no way to get rid of it though. You can't move it yet.
That's
Now,
what
granted, Manboy talking above his pay grade a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. He talking above his pay grade.
He is.
He talking above his pay grade, but Saint got problems that he need to solve. And I don't know how Saint gonna solve them, but the only way you get rid of
Arkansas.
Scully and bruh, that ain't got, I say it again, ain't got shit to do with price of tea in China. The only way you solve that shit, you gotta deal with Scully and you gotta deal with Manboy. There ain't no way around it. You can still go to Arkansas, you still gotta move your weight, you still gotta move the pack, you gotta do what you gotta do, but you gotta resolve the niggas. And there's no getting around it.
But Ed, how do you resolve in any war, whether it's military war, gang wars, street war, or even corporate law, a corporate war, business war? How do most people win wars? What's that one thing it takes? Money. So money creates leverage. So they about to double down, go to Arkansas, get money. You get money, you got hire motherfucking killers, you can hire more mercs if they got more money. So whoever have the most money most of the time in any kind of war wins. Even legal law, whoever usually have the most money wins, nigga.
Merv, I'll take it. Go ahead, Mark.
No, I was saying one more thing real quick. I say if this war is the end and Leon be alive, right? The only way that I see it, you know what I mean, with him being alive, if Manboy double crosses Scully again, you know, and and they're able to take care of Scully, you know, and then what you go gets a bigger percentage of the pot. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can see Leon still being alive. And I think that's far fetched for me. That's far fetched, but I think that's the only way he can stay alive. To me.
Well, since you asked that, we're only a few episodes left. Who y'all think is whacked in episode 6?
I'm gonna say like this: at least seeing the preview, I know Franklin wants Leon to turn himself in. Like you got heat coming down on all of us. You got to turn yourself in. You know what I mean? Because he's wanted for questioning. It's not like they said they were going to charge him. You know what I'm saying? But they got his fingerprint on a bullet, so they want him in for they want to talk to him. You know, for questioning him and the other boy Fatback. I think if anybody dies, it'd be Fatback. They're gonna catch up to him. I just see that part. I see that part happening. They're gonna catch up to him and roast his ass. Definitely.
Gotcha. I could go with that.
I'm gonna be real, man. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, because I was about to go to my last meme before we end it.
Okay. I'm gonna be real. The only person that gotta go right now, Leon has too many people coming after him. He got the law, he got Scully, he got Manboy. It's just the weight is too heavy. It's just too heavy. The cost is too high. I just don't see them getting out of this and maintaining integrity in the great writing that this series has shown. I don't see them getting out of this.
I'm like, man, you know what? And that's the way I see it. I see it kind of like, when Stringer Bell got killed in The Wire. It was no other option for him but to be killed. You know what I'm saying? And I see it with Leon the same way. Really, as many scenarios as I try to think of because I like his character, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, realistically, it's no way for him to survive. You know what I'm
Or
saying?
he,
That's
or,
just it.
or he goes to jail and do a bid. It comes out.
Yeah.
Merv,
It's either one of the
well,
two.
my take is the same as Mark. Um, and I think that they showed us this last part where it shows Leon escaping with Franklin and Jerome. But I think there's a consensus on this panel right now that says that Leon has gone too far. Well, not he's gone too far, but he's got the weight of the world is on his shoulders, so much so that he has to. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I would not be
So either
shocked
jail or
if Leon
graveyard.
dies. And the
Yeah,
thing is,
yeah.
I don't think
Jail or
jail
graveyard.
is going to be enough. I don't think jail is going to be enough for Scully and Manboy. Um, as far as him turning himself in, I don't see Leon doing that. So I think that
Uh,
I wouldn't be shocked if we lose Leon in this next episode.
Yeah,
we'll
something's
see.
I
gotta
think
happen.
he's got to go. I don't want him to go, but I think with everything going on, that I mean, you don't want to give up your guy, but as far as the business side of things, Louis is right. Louis is absolutely right. Leon got to go in order for shit to go. In order
Well,
for
before
everybody to move forward amicably.
I was, I was 100% with everybody before I saw this news today. Um, Snowfall has been renewed for season 5, and a
I'm
lot of
here
people
for it.
thinking that the last season, but not even close. It's been renewed for season 5.
And
Well,
I'm
So
here for it.
I'll
that
tell you,
may
I'll
give
tell
Leon,
you,
that may give Leon hope.
I'll tell you one thing about TV, right? One thing, you know what I mean, that I've heard from, you know what I mean, for my people in Hollywood from years ago, right? Every show wants 5 seasons so they can go do the syndication thing. 5 seasons guarantees you syndication and checks, you know what I mean, long after you've done the series. Just like the Cosby Show, you know what I'm saying? They were just like, yo, you know, all the people who was on the Cosby Show was collecting checks for years because that show got syndicated. When your show gets syndicated,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So every show wants to do 5 years. And if they have a strong enough running, they do them 5 years and cash out, you know what I mean, years after that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm first thing I'm glad they got the season 5. Now, you know, when it comes to what you think might happen and everything, I'm just like, okay, I'm like, I still, you know, it's a dramatic show. Everybody doesn't make it, especially on shows like this. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, when it comes to crime drama, people get clipped and it sucks, you know what I'm saying? Because you're invested. You invested into the characters, but they get clipped. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you know, we've all watched these shows before. It's like, damn, he got killed too. Yeah. It's just the way it go. You know what I'm saying? All the main characters don't get to stay. You know, it's just the way it is. I like, man, you know, uh, that's it. That's all I got for you.
Mm. Tina said Fat Boy may catch the charge or Leon goes back to jail, and season 5 says 10 to 20 years later.
Nah,
Yo, hey, hey, yo, hey,
I don't
yo,
see that happening. 10 to 20
hey,
years
yo,
later,
check
you know
this
what I'm
out.
saying? Mm-mm.
Hey, check this out. I think Tina may be on to something. To keep Leon on this show and be a relevant character, what if Manboy was to take the charge? And Manboy, I mean not Manboy, I'm sorry, Fatback. If Fatback was to take the charge, meaning Fatback said because Fatback is very loyal to Leon. When Leon told him, "Hey, here's this money," he said, "I don't want your money." I'm looking at that now, like, dude, I don't need your money. I'm loyal to you. Like, I'm not looking for no handout or nothing like that. So I see this from a point with Tina saying, well, maybe Fatback falls on the sword and said, "I'm the shooter." I mean, that's far fetched, but it's a thought. It'll keep
But,
Leon in the show, but I mean, it won't stop motherfuckers
It'll,
from
nah,
trying to
I,
kill
it'll
him.
keep
I
him
But I
in
don't
the
see
mean,
no,
jail.
I don't see no 10 to 20 years later though. Yeah, I like, man, you know, they
Yeah.
they
oh no,
gonna
no, no,
continue
no, I
right
don't
here.
like that.
This ain't gonna reach the 90s. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah. So we had our we covered. It was pretty good show, man. We
Yeah,
covered
good.
everything. We had some we had Ed Hill. Ed Hill brought some good different angles to the show tonight. We appreciate you coming on and giving your
The
point of
homie.
view, man. Like
Yeah,
real
man.
shit.
Shoot. You know what I mean? Come back through, Ed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come back
Appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. So it's the 8:15 mark. We done covered everything.
Yeah.
We even talked about the next series, the next series and the next season. All right. So well, our man Mark got he got a date that he gotta get ready for. He can't be late for.
Yeah,
So we
man.
cover everything in due time.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
time to end it.
and
You gotta
guess
give the
what?
credits.
Yeah, I wasn't listening to Derek Jackson either. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, man, let's get our shout outs to Blackjack TV,
Yeah.
Zingo,
Shout out. Go ahead,
Channel
Stack.
199, Maha Radio, YouTube, Facebook Live.
Right,
Everybody, you know
right.
what I mean, for real coming in with us. You know what I'm saying? Tina B in the background. Shout to you, Tina. You know what I'm saying?
Cool, Tina.
Yeah, God's podcast group. Yo, you got that shit popping. You know what I'm saying?
500,
Yeah,
500
500
members.
there. So, I like that. Keep rocking out with us. We got the show tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's relationships with this Derek Jackson mess. So get in there with us. You know what I mean? Merv got a
Hey,
whole lot to say about that.
Yeah.
Mark, you got a special message for Derek Jackson tomorrow,
Yeah,
right?
you know what I mean? I'm gonna have a little something for old Derek.
Yeah.
You know
Save
what I'm saying?
tomorrow.
I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. We're gonna save it. We're gonna save it, but
We gonna say that.
Hey, yo, Ed, make sure you tune in, man, because we going all in on this Derek Jackson situation. And Merv can't wait. And Mark's gonna have a special message. I can't wait till this shit go down. Hey, it's the guys podcast. Y'all know what we do. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We coming right back at y'all tomorrow at 8:00, man. I appreciate you, gentlemen. I appreciate Ed. I appreciate you for coming on, the homie. I think that's about it, bro. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's it.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, y'all. All right.
No doubt.
Salute.